good steps to bring out the economy from ICU. I think the economy is still in the ICU, but the people living in Pakistan, they are either out of ICU or out of emergency of the corona. And the life outside the towns, in the cities, in the villages, is alhamdulillah is going to be normal. It's already normal, but the school, like the institutions for the small children, marriages halls, marquees, they are only not working at the moment. Rest of the things, markets, shops, industries, banks, alhamdulillah, everything is now back to normal. But the economy, which has been shaken by the corona, is like everyone has suffered from it. In a government sector, in private sector, small business, big businesses, hotel industry, other industries, everyone is facing issue of economical problem. And like 3-4 months, people laid off from a company and sitting at the home. So your countries are, I think so, the same like as our countries. Am I right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
2020 will be like, if you like, I have heard there is a big company in China working named with Alibaba. His owner said you should think that there was no 2020 year in your life. So there is no saving. Being a politician, I will say that, or I'm a businessman as well. I'm running a marriage hall. In March, we have stopped working with the marriages, right? From 15th of March, government closed our marriage hall, and they have said we can open them again in September. So this 6 or 7 month period has made us sitting on knees, you can say. Like we are paying bills from pocket, we are giving rent from the pocket, we have laid off about 50-60 people, we are only paying few people which are very important with the business. So in America and in UK, I had discussed with my friends, those who are having businesses like with the hotel industry. They say that they're on the average base of their business income, their government has helped them, and they were given straight money in their account to run the business or to give the salaries and rents and everything instead of getting debit. But in Pakistan,
thank you, Mr. Raza. We will come to you in the second round. We have got Mr. Jarifa Ghaffari from Afghanistan. It seems very difficult to her to join with us for his poor internet connection, as she is the mayor. So he is responsible for his people, that for her people for poor internet connection. Mrs. Ghaffari, can you hear us? Ms. Ghaffari, can you hear us? We have lost her again. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ishraque Hossain from Bangladesh. Please welcome Mr. Ishraque Hossain. Mr. Hossain, you as a politician, you are very much active and have enhanced your activities like to direct communication with your people, especially your electoral arena. As a responsible politician, how are you being facilitated the people in this pandemic? Please share your experience with us, mentioning your ways of assistance to people.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to thank all the speakers who have joined us here today, and Assalamu alaikum, namaste to to all the viewers all around the world and everyone else who's watching. I'd also like to especially thank Mr. Zubair for organizing such a, you know, regionally cooperating program, because we can all learn from each other. We are neighbors, we have similar culture, so it's very good that you have taken such initiative. It's excellent, actually. Really appreciate that. I would like to introduce myself shortly, then before I get into the work that I have done so far. My name is Ishraque Hossain, and I have been the mayor candidate from Dhaka South recently. The elections were held on 1st of February. Um, Before I say anything, I don't know if any of the speakers here are aware that Bangladesh currently we are not in a democratic process for the past 13 years, and there is no credible elections are being held. But that is a different topic. But since it's relevant to what I'm about to say next, as I said, that's why I mentioned that. Well, since we're not in the government and we're also struggling to get back into democracy, it's very hard for an opposition party to uh, contribute or assist the people out there, because we do not have the budget or the infrastructure or the access to the power or the manage the hospitals, the healthcare system, etc. It's done by the government. So far, I would say that in a nutshell, the government has not managed the pandemic so well. However, being a responsible democratic party, we have a commitment towards the people of Bangladesh, and every political member of Bangladesh Nationalist Party have contributed to their relevant constituencies, as directed by our party chairman, acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman. So what we did is, when the pandemic was just about to start, end of February, we kind of predicted that this is eventually going to reach Bangladesh, because we have a lot of travelers and a huge portion of our population are working abroad. So what we did is, we started with public awareness campaign at the end of February, where we were distributing leaflets and making people aware that there's such disease that is going to hit us soon, and we should be prepared for that. As one of our speakers said, most of the countries here are largely overpopulated, and we do not have that health infrastructure. Even the Western countries have struggled so much with the infrastructure they have, which is very much advanced, especially India, right? Mr. Yasser Haidar said, it's a very large country, and the healthcare system is not large enough. And then what we did, eventually, as the pandemic reached on the 7th of March in Bangladesh, we were handing out hand sanitizers, masks, PPE, and hand gloves to the people who could not afford it, especially people who are working on a day-to-day basis, daily laborers, and also frontline workers. We tried to assist them with those free products as much as we could. Thirdly, as the lockdown was enforced around 20th of March, as you know, Bangladesh, we're not very rich country, and the system here is not very established like in the Western countries, where when they placed the lockdown, the government was taking care of their needs, basic necessities. In Bangladesh, we have a large population who earn on a daily basis. They work on a daily basis, and usually they do not have that much savings. So we predicted there could be a food crisis, food shortage. So as instructed by our party, we conducted food relief programs where we handed out basic food, for example, rice, milk powder, salt, cooking oil, etc. We did that throughout the country on behalf of Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Apart from that, we have been pointing out the lackings of our healthcare system to the government so they can rectify it and more or less, betterment for the betterment of the healthcare service. We have been constantly conducting awareness program via social media and national media, making people aware to stay indoors, use masks, use PPE when they go out, etc. Our founder president, late President Ziaur Rahman. So there's a foundation, Ziaur Rahman Foundation, who has conducted very good activities, I would say. As you know, when the lockdown was enforced, not only COVID patients, but people who needed treatment, like regular patients, even they could not get access to the healthcare system because every hospital was denying them admittance without COVID tests. And at that time, we did not have any COVID tests in Bangladesh. So what Ziaur Rahman Foundation did, we set up a healthcare hotline with over 100 specialist doctors. So basically, you would call the hotline, you speak to a general practitioner, and then they would refer you to a specialist doctor if needed. So we were delivering a healthcare service to the people at their home. Apart from that, we set up hand wash basins throughout the capital in various points. We should, as you know, World Healthcare Organization said to wash your hands regularly, which can help keep the spreading of the virus under control. We have been giving financial aid. We have been helping our workers to get access to healthcare where they could not get admitted to the hospital, etc. And so this has been our role as an opposition party so far. If you would like me to speak about the economic impact on Bangladesh, that's another topic. So I would just let other speakers have their word, and then I will come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hossain. Our guest from Afghanistan is trying her best to join with us, but unfortunately is not able to join. But she has confirmed me that usually from her home he joined other devices. But today, what's the problem? Actually, I don't know. So until her joining in the program, we have to reschedule our speaker. Now I'd like to invite Miss Bidhya Baral. Ms. Baral, are you with us? Exactly. In recent time, the border dispute between India and new map of Nepal and called relationship, bilateral relation between two countries, Nepal and India. In this perspective, what is your opinion in Nepal? How are the taking these issues where Nepal is largely depend on India like economy, employment, trade, currency, products, etc.?
Okay, sir. It has been the major dispute these days. The border dispute between India and Nepal has declared a new map. The relations between these two countries. The major areas of dispute between India and Nepal are Kalapani territory, Limpiadura, and Lipu Lake. It has been claimed by Nepal since 1997 that Limpiadura Kalapani territory lies in the Darchula district of Nepal, Sudur Paschim province. The territory represents the basin of Kalapani river. The valley of Kalapani with Lipu Lake pass it from the Indian route to Kailas Mansarovar, which was the ancient pilgrimage site of India. And the Joint Technical Committee of India and Nepalese officials have been discussing since 1998 with the border issues, but the matter has not been solved yet. And in this recent time, the border dispute has arisen so highly that on 20 May 2020, Nepal released a new map of its territory that expanded its claim to 335 square kilometer area up to Kuthi Angti River, including the Kalapani, Lipulek, and Limpuadura. And because of these disputes, the various young leaders belonging to different political parties have raised the movement here in Nepal. You have also seen some of the dispute news articles on the radio, television over there. And I hope this dispute will sort out very soon.
Okay, okay.
And we
Bidhya,
can
please. Yes, I have got
okay.
your point. Miss Ghaffari, are you okay? Again, we have lost Ghaffari.
I think there are a lot of issues in Afghanistan regarding the internet connection.
She is the mayor, so she is responsible for poor connection.
Yeah, if she's mayor and having poor connection, and what about the public? What they are doing?
Exactly.
But is it even under the mayor's jurisdiction to fix telecommunications? I don't know how it works. Like, not in Bangladesh, as you know. We have a different department for that.
Anyway, please welcome Mr. Raja. Mr. Raja, how will you focus on regional connectivity? Regional connectivity means regional transport connectivity, economic and trade development, some challenges like enhancing transport connectivity between the South and Southeast Asian countries, including perception, determination of transit fees, security and smuggling concern, and a lack of mutual trust, positive changes and happening. Students are crossing borders and people are traveling for health and medical treatment. So please focus on regional connectivity according or as a young politician.
On your question, I will say first of all that I'm a worker of Pakistan People's Party, which was the last government of my party was from 2007 to 2013, right? And Pakistan People's Party has made its government in Pakistan 4 times. Now, from last two election seasons, we are sitting in the opposition benches. But Alhamdulillah, on the other hand, in one province of Pakistan, which is named as Sindh, Pakistan People's Party is making government 3rd time. Like, this is our 3rd term of government. It's continuously Pakistan People's Party has been elected in a provisional assembly. In COVID situation, my leader, whose name is Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, is the most young person in Pakistan's political history with a historical political background, and he made remarkable progress in COVID situation in serving in Sindh. Basically, economy and the people relating in our neighbors is different. Like, people living in Pakistan, they love people living in Bangladesh, they love people living in India, they love people living in Afghanistan. But the government is always having its own stance. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So the students going from the borders, or people traveling from the borders, or going Europe through Afghanistan or anywhere in the world. Basically, this is all the failure of a country, any country. It's not only Pakistan, it's not only India, it's not only Bhutan. I've been living in UK for 6-7 years, and I have been living with the people of India. I have a lot of friends in India. I have a lot of friends in Bangladesh. I've been living 6-7 years in UK. So, alhamdulillah, I have good knowledge of people. I have talked with them. I have friendships with them. Basically, people come out of the country only when they want money, when they want to make money, when they cannot do anything in their country, when they do not have enough money to start business, when they do not get a good job, having a good education. So then they decide to move from the country, right? So if all the third world countries like South Asian countries have good economy, then their people will not travel to UK, or they will not travel to any other country for the sake of job, for the sake of making money. And anything else you want to mention, I will answer that. Sorry.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you
Zubair.
very much, Mr. Raja. Ms. Ghaffari, can you hear us? Hello. Miss Jarifa, please, can you hear us?
I think she's disconnected again.
Yeah, but still I can see her in the picture.
Yeah, it's frozen. The frame is frozen. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to touch the screen and maybe she's something.
Oh, I would like
Are
to
you
go,
there?
Mr. Ishraque Hossain. Mr. Hossain,
yes,
your academic career is very rich, and you have graduated from England and became engineer. Instead of being a professional and comfortable life, why have you chosen such uncertain career? Why do you have to input your all efforts years after years? Anyway, what should be the role of young politicians in this subcontinent for their countries, and how could they acquire the competent place among people from the people could trust?
all right. Thank you very much. Well, to answer the first part of your question, well, I studied engineering in the UK. Um, uh, my intention was always to come back to Bangladesh and create an industrial revolution, or take the industrial status of our country to a higher level, where we bring in high-tech industry and create new jobs for the younger educated population. Secondly, you said what should be the role of young politicians. Well, I think, one big thing that we faced in Bangladesh, and I'm sure it's the same because I do follow the politics of subcontinent India, what's going on in West Bengal, in Pakistan. So there's a lot of conflict between the political parties. So I think when there's a division within a country, between the political parties or amongst the political parties, eventually it's harmful for the nation because it draws you back. Of course, there's going to be competition. We all are citizens of our countries, and we all have our own duties and roles to play, and we want to coexist. But there will be competition, that's why we have a system called democracy, where people should be able to vote and select the government which they feel is the best to run and manage their country, because it's the people who actually own the country. So as the young as a young politician of my country, and others honorable guests who have joined here, I think we would all agree that the conflict should be minimized, and we should be more tolerant towards each other's ideology. Yes, of course, there will be different ideology, political views, but if we work together for the betterment of our respective nation, then we can definitely take on the challenges that we face from overpopulation and the burden on our healthcare system, economic development, poverty, etc., and just move forward and eventually turn this region into a rich, developed continent or subcontinent, if you may call it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hossain.
Yeah.
Please welcome Mr. Yasser Haidar. Mr. Haidar,
Yeah.
I have a comment. I don't know actually whether you will agree with me or not. Personally, Mamata Banerjee is admired, but her organization is losing reputation that had been exposed last election.
Firstly, I would like to say that the Mamata Banerjee government, this is our second term in West Bengal, and we are proudly, I can say that we have been working very good and in a very planned way in West Bengal. See, what I will suggest and what I will say, in a country like India or say Pakistan or my neighboring friends in Bangladesh or in Nepal, when there is a government, there has to be also an opposition, which is better for a country, I believe. If there is only
Absolutely.
one government, like example, say in North Korea or a China or a Russia, there's only one government, so there's no democracy, I feel. So in Bengal, in India, the since the BJP government has come, there are a lot of differences. The right wing has come, you know. So there are before in India we me being Muslim, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends which are from different caste, which are from different society. But after the BJP government, there is a differentiate between a Hindu and a Muslim, a Sikh and a Christian. So these differences I feel is very bad for a country, and it's a very negativity which goes all over the country and across the globe because of the government which is in power, so but in West Bengal, alhamdulillah, we are united, we are has a all the religions are together, and I am proudly I would like to mention this, me being a Muslim from a Muslim family, but we do a very big Durga Puja. I'm sure you know what Durga Puja is. It's a very big festival
Absolutely.
in West Bengal. So we do a very big Durga Puja where all our Hindu friends and family members, we all come together and we celebrate this Durga Puja. Then we do a lot of because in India we have a lot of festivals with a lot of religions. We have Durga Puja, we have Kali Puja, we celebrate Christmas together. Example, in during the day of Eid, we have a big function in our house where about 3,000 to 4,000 people come and have dinner at our house. So over there, who's Hindu, who's Bengali, who's Sikh, who's Isai, who's from different religion and creed, we don't differentiate that. Everyone comes to our house. We have this tradition in Eid where we greet each other, Amratin Bar, Gola Mili. So that thing, we have, and we welcome everyone. And it is beautiful in Bengal, I believe. And when a government, before Trinomoul Congress came to power 34 years back, for the last 34 years, we had CPM, which was ruling the Communist Party, CPM, which was ruling the party, which was ruling the state of West Bengal. And the amount of corruption, the amount of negativity, the amount of things which they have done, it has really hampered our West Bengal. So to overcome that, 5 years we took to overcome that, and still I am telling you that it's been more than it's we are in the second term, and we have elections next year in 2021. So still the corruption and the way the CPM had ruled West Bengal for the past 34 years, it is still we are coming over it, and inshallah ta'ala we are trying our best to overcome it. And where where I say that when you do a good work, when you are doing work for the people of your state, there are oppositions who are going to say their things, their comments, and their views on the same thing. So that is the thing, when when you know that there are uh, parties who are against us, who says negativity about us, who always have an opinion about us, so that we work more better for our party. It is much better, because if you have only one single party in a country, in a state, you don't know what are your faults, what are your flaws. But when you get criticized, when you get bad comments, and when you are always criticized, you tend to work much better for your state, and you tend to give more 101% for your state. I feel that, Zubair.
Thank you. I would like to inform here that our Nepali speaker is a superstar, and she has competed in a beauty competition and became the first runner-up. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Baral, how is the pandemic situation in your country? Sorry. Oh, okay. Mr. Baral, you have combined of all qualities like politician, engineer by profession, and superstar in beauty competition. How do you feel yourself? Do you think the young politician in this region should be interconnected? How do you evaluate the regional connectivity as a young politician of Nepal?
Yes, sir. Talking about myself, being practical, I think foremost the engineering is my profession, and to be a politician is itself a profession. And to be a good politician, I think, in my view, I must first on my degree. I should be visible to community, and I should have good public speaking. And I think politics is all about working and moving up to the ladder, challenging myself, preparing to run again. So I think to be a good young politicians, one, he or she should have the quality to understand the give and take aspect of politics and ability to find the common ground. To be a supermodel, it's my passion. To be an engineer, it's my profession. And to rule the country, being a politician, it's a profession itself. I have developed a faith or belief that I will act in a right, proper, or effective way that a young, good politician should have. And I think being a engineer, that is the profession by itself. It is a social service. I can volunteer the people. I can develop the good qualities like compassion, integrity, confidence, develop my flexibilityness, and challenge myself. And I think I can develop the trust of my followers. So I think
Okay.
to be a good engineer, to be a good politician, to be a good superstar, that all adds up to the role model.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Haidar, do you think the regional connectivity means the inter-country connection is necessary in the age of globalization? As a young politician, how do you evaluate the importance of mutual relation and cooperation among the nations with due respect?
I believe
And this is the last question to you. We are at the ending position. Okay, carry on.
because uh, uh, my mobile battery is also showing its low power mode. So I was trying my other mobile also. So I'll come back to your question, Zubair. Firstly, I always believe that before being a politician, you have to be a good person from within, because a political thing is a secondary. It's my personal view. being into a political background or being into politics, I feel before you have to be a nice human being, a giving human being. And anytime before joining politics, I was very much actively associated with the social cause. Being if there is a poor person who cannot afford into a hospital, I myself and with my boys, we take him to the hospital, we get him admitted in the hospital. And or else, or there is a family which is very poor, where they cannot afford to get their daughter or son married. So we, being a social activist, we, as much as possible from our side, we contribute money and give them so their marriage can happen. So these are the things, whereas in the slums area, I always visit the slums area where there are a lot of problems, like there is water problem, or there's light problem, there is drainage problem, there are roads problem. So firstly, you have to be very, very closely associated with the grassroots people, I believe, because unless until your local base is not strong, you cannot move forward, I believe that. So definitely there has to be a connectivity with the local people, with the grassroots people, and then only you can succeed. And being a young politician, though I'm not young anymore, I'm heading towards my early 40s. So, but still, I try my level best from by the grace of the Almighty Allah, that as much as possible I can work for the people. I can be with the people and always be by the side of the people whenever they need me, and how much my capacity is. So I always try to be, and I'm very proudly to say that in India there are 43.5% youth, which is which makes the population of our country, India. So I believe the youth coming forward, joining politics or any other fields like engineering, doctors, or say a business, I believe the youth is the next big thing in any subcontinent, be it Bangladesh, be it Bhutan, be it Nepal, be it Pakistan, be it Afghanistan. I believe the youth is the next big thing in the world today. And I'm proudly associated with this youth politics, and I believe that as much as I can help the people and I can be by the people, that is the biggest satisfaction and the biggest, uh, blessings I can get from the Almighty Allah.
Okay,
Back to you,
thank you.
Zubair.
Thank you. Mr. Hossain, this is my last question to you, because we are in our
Yes.
the end of our program. Mr. Hossain, a period of your life you are in London and closely observed the connection among the EU countries' relations. In South Asia, what thing or things do you feel lacking, like interconnection, poor bilateral relation, lack of mutual understanding, etc.? As a representative of your politicians, which aspects do you like to give emphasis for regional cooperation?
Right. Thank you, Zubair, for giving me the opportunity to give my last statement. I would like to just talk about a few points that previous guests have already spoken about. Then I will just finish off. Mr. Sikandar Mumtaz said that people are leaving the country because they want to earn. So I think that's a common problem we have in this region, that uh, uh, there's a lack of employment opportunities for the youth, especially the educated, the young population who are more accustomed to technology, and they want to move forward, they want to better their lives and increase their standard of living. Mr. Zarifa Ghaffari also said that you have to be a good role model to be a good politician. So because if you're a politician, you're leading, and
I
if you lead, sorry,
Yasser said.
can you hear? Yeah, yeah. So to lead the people by example, you have to be a good role model. That's Ms. Ghaffari said. So I totally agree with that. And I'll come back to Mr. Haidar, Yasser Haidar, he made some very good points, fantastic points. For example, I can totally relate to the type of politics he's accustomed with, which is a charitable. I'm sure your family has been very charitable to the needy, to the poor, helping all your voters to their small problems when they come, where their daughter's getting married and they cannot afford, etc. So I come from a similar political background, political family. My father, he was a freedom fighter, and later on he became the mayor of Dhaka for the longest running period. So, I think a connection to the grassroots is very important for a politician. I mean, we have to totally go and mix with them as if we are one of their own. So for them to benefit from us and also to follow us as their leaders. You also said about criticism from opposition parties help you perform as you're in the government. So that is a very good mentality, which I really appreciate that, because freedom of speech and being able to absorb criticism from your opposition will only help you perform better, as you said. Unfortunately, this is something we do not have right now in Bangladesh. There's no democracy, no freedom of speech, no right to talk, and it's almost like this one party rule state. We are kind of driven towards that. However, I would like to say that Bangladesh was formed as a struggle of democracy. In 1970 war, we had a very 9-month-long bloody war where a lot of people gave up their lives. And I am proud to say that this is my biggest pride, that I'm a son of a freedom fighter. My father passed away last year, end of last year, but so I hold his values, his principles within myself. And our founder president, late President Ziaur Rahman, he was the one who first announced the independence of Bangladesh. So patriotism and commitment towards people, these are two big qualities I think any politician should have. So if you're patriotic, you have your commitment towards your country, and bilateral, if it comes to bilateral relationships, as Zubair's question was earlier on, or any national interest. If you're patriotic, then you are able to take decisions for your country that will benefit only your country. And of course, India being our largest neighbor, we're surrounded, most of our border is surrounded by India. It is very important that we have a very friendly bilateral relationship, especially your seven sisters is quite remote and they do not have access to port. Recently, Bangladesh signed a transit agreement where you're able to use our Chittagong port and pass goods onto the Seven Sisters, which is very good because we need to transport those goods to the Seven Sisters and for the development of that region. However, it should be on an even ground. It should be on a friendly, even friendly relation. So, no one feels like they're being suppressed or forced into some sort of decision that the people are not agreed upon. So this is what I would like to add. I think, regional cooperation is very important as we are, very close, especially West Bengal. I mean, there's no difference. You're talking about Durga Puja. In my constituency, we have a large Hindu population, Hindu voters. So every year they have Durga Puja. I go to the temples, almost 50, 60 of them. So, even culturally, we're very similar. Yes, it's there's a divide in religion, but, ultimately, we all have to be good human beings and serve our people and our country, like Mr. Yasser Haidar said, to be a good politician. So I would like to thank Mr. Zubair and Mr. Haidar. I learned a lot from our speakers today, all our guests, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I hope, we get to do this again.
Okay, our Afghanistan guest would like to connect through WhatsApp, so I should call her and she would like to say something in record of our speakers.
All right.
Sure.
Afghanistan has a lot of connection problem.
Yeah.
And our honorable mayor, she should do something about it, I think.
Yes, you should speak to the relevant authorities, get it fixed, right? And I think they're dependent on other countries for the connection because they don't have access to the landlocked country, isn't it?
Correct.
No submarine cable, yeah.
Hello.
What happened to our guest from Pakistan?
Hello. Hello. Yes, please say something for our guest because he could not attend in the program. But please say something.
Thank you so much.
Is it possible to hear?
Yeah.
It's a kind of to not be connected much to internet. I hope you are hearing me.
Yeah. We can hear you, but can't see you.
It's not possible to connect with her properly because of her poor connection. So I think we should finish our program here. Oh, she has called again. Just
I think you can hear me now.
okay, please just say something to our guest or speakers here. Okay, definitely we will invite in our next program, and I think on that program we will get you perfectly. So we would like to finish our program here. Thank you very much, Ghaffari, for your kind